The new King County homeless count is out, and for the first time in 7 years, the numbers are actually down. The organization All Home found 11,199 people experiencing homelessness during the January 25th count. That includes people on the street and also in shelters. That number is down 8% from the previous year. Now keep in mind, this is a one-night count, not the number of people in King County who experience homelessness all throughout the year, which is typically a much higher number. That said, it is still a useful tool for the county to help understand trends. Now, that wasn't the only decline. Take a look at the numbers here. Families experiencing homelessness, down 7%. Veterans, down 10%. That's after a 31% decrease last year as well. Also, unaccompanied youth and young adults, down 28%. Now, All Home attributes part of the success to finding King County residents a permanent place to live. Almost 18,000 people between 2016 and 2018. Now, we don't know the demographics of the people counted in January, but here's what we know from 2018. 36% said they suffered PTSD, 44% suffered mental illness, 35% abused drugs or alcohol. Oh, and by the way, 2.6% had a graduate degree. Now, according to this report this year, things are improving, but clearly we still have a long way to go.